All right, guys, let's talk about some good news. Let's talk about Rick Pearsall and let's talk about Tetairoa McMillan. So Rick Pears, sorry. So Rick Pearsall said that he hurt his knee during the game. It feels a little bit sore. That's actually pretty encouraging because he hit an inflection, so we get concerned about two injuries there. One of them is a posterior cruciate ligament injury, which we've seen in a bunch of players, where they would say that their knee feels unstable. When he's talking about a sore knee, that's when I start thinking about something called prepatellar bursitis. So the knee is buffered on top of it by a fluid sac called the prepatellar bursa. Should be highlighted in a second right there. So when your knee hits it to the ground and that bursa sac gets hit, impacted, it gets inflamed, it's swollen, it gets painful, and there's a lot of ways to control that kind of pain with anti-inflammatories, steroid injections, and just general rest. Usually recovers within a couple of days. So overall, I think he'll be out there. Now let's talk about Tetairoa McMillan, who mispracticed today with a calf injury or calf condition. We don't know if it was an injury. So we get kind of worried about calf strains. We've talked about before how they can hold players out for multiple weeks. But the language he had in the locker room seemed super laid back. He wasn't like angry about it. When we talk about an injury to this calf muscle, I would think that's more calf tightness. And also, we got to take into account that's Wednesday. And a lot of times, Wednesdays, they're just kind of taking a rest, especially if they had a super active game before that. So, overall, I know that a lot of times I say you can't take player speak for granted. Sometimes you just have to kind of use your gestalt on it or just your intuition, and that's what I'm going with right now. I have some pretty positive thoughts on Tetairoa right now, and I think that he should be able to suit up this coming weekend.